this kid, what's his name again? Adam McIntyre. 17-year-old kid. If you know the YouTuber Colleen Ballinger, she's famous for the Miranda Sings character. Apparently she had correspondence with this kid, and it didn't turn out so well. Let's discover what happened.
Before this video begins, I just want to tell you that I've been making daily videos recently, but I just want to tell you that I'm going to stop for a while, and I am taking a break from just my social medias, because there's been a lot of shit going on, which I'll tell you about, but I've just had enough, honestly. So that's where I'm at right now. So I love you all, and I'll see you whenever. This is a video that I never thought I would ever have to make. My intentions behind doing so are that I can disassociate myself from the situation, but also not continuously get asked in future about Colleen and Corey and what happened. Or also hearing things that apparently came from me but I've never said out of my mouth. The purpose behind doing this video is to get my side across and defend myself. As you all know, I was a good friend of Colleen and Corey, and I discovered Miranda Sings in 2012, and I found Colleen through this. I ran a fan page on Instagram that I created in 2017. We were good friends.
Really fast.
Or what I would have called good friends.
Okay, first of all, I actually find Colleen Ballinger's relationships very strange. Right off the bat, I have personal beef with Colleen Ballinger that even she doesn't know about. It's very petty. She said she was hiring an editor. I worked really hard on a demo reel and sent it to her, and then suddenly she wasn't hiring and didn't say anything about it ever again. I'm still bitter about that. So, but because I am bitter about that, I'm in no real position to defend Colleen Ballinger. I'm not biased for Colleen Ballinger. And so I can say that I find Colleen Ballinger's relationships a little bit strange. There is the fact that she at least led this boy to believe at 13 to 15 that he was close friends with 28 to 30-year-old. And that's, that coincides with Ballinger's friendship with Jojo Siwa, who's 15. That's strange, and I think that's worth mentioning.
Very quickly, we started talking a lot, and my parents were really happy to see the fact that someone like Colleen Ballinger was so dedicated to talking to all of her fans. This slowly turned into me getting private details about her divorce, and what was happening with the relationship with her ex-husband. Around this time, though, was whenever my parents started getting a little bit more cautious and were wondering why a 30-year-old was talking to, at this time, a 13-year-old about her divorce. So from this...
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I mean, granted, he doesn't provide any evidence for it, but giving the benefit of the doubt, this is weird. No denying.
Point on, my parents really observed the conversations that I took part in with Colleen. Our relationship slowly turned into me always being asked to go find drama for her, whether it was being really attacked on these sites too. Now keep in mind I was only 14 at this time. So then I was getting targeted on these gossip sites, and I was getting called a pick-me, manipulative, and other words I won't say my brother would be,
fine.
Along with someone else in the fandom. There's no need to mention it, and then I would do it. And because I was dumb, impressionable, young, naive, whatever I want to call it, I have so many names for what I believe I was, I'd always cave, honestly. I try not to be upset with myself because I was 13 to 15 during this time. I'm still really young now, I'm only 17, but looking back, it's hard to not get, fix yourself. Stop engaging in that, you're being used. I've been told so much private information about the divorce, but I won't get into that in this video because I feel it's unnecessary. But 16, Colleen and Corey were doing a live stream and they stumbled across my Twitter account. They found my tweets really funny, and this was the day before we officially started really talking. They found my Twitter so funny that they said they needed to send me bra and panties that Corey was wearing during the live stream. Now, looking back at that, I'm still a minor. I'm still 17, but looking back on that, I just... You know yourself. And also, minutes later, they made fun of how my parents would react to the fact of, two 30-year-olds sending me bra and panties, lingerie.
Oh, whoops. Granted, this is inappropriate, but the point has been made that Mr. Adam did specifically ask for the bra and panties. So they sent it to him. They asked if he wanted it. He said yes. They sent it to him. It didn't touch anyone's private bading-dong parts. They just wore it, Ballinger's friend just wore it over his clothes as a joke, and they asked him if he wanted it. He said yes. Well, I'm talking about the tea. Anyway. Yeah, so they asked him if he wanted the bra and panties. He said yes. They sent it to him. Case closed. It is inappropriate to send a minor lingerie, but I think there is some context here that he is deliberately leaving out in order to make them look worse.
To name it properly on this live stream. So again, looking back as a 17-year-old,
I'm sorry. Do you... Okay, so just gonna go, but do you know what the T as in the slang term, as in drama? We're talking about drama? I don't know. We'll just continue.
just really disgusted at the situation and confused, honestly. They went on my Twitter because they thought it was funny, and then they said they had to send me the bra and panties. Here are some clips from that live stream.
Ew! That outfit! Screaming homeschooled Christian University realness.
Adam, Cookie Ballinger said, "Hi, you are such a fashion icon," and tweeted the ugliest picture of me. This is honestly the worst outfit. He's so rude. What made you order these ugly clothes?
Adam!
Those clothes are nasty. He's so rude. Oh my god, he's so sassy. Your Twitter account is making me laugh so much. Oh my god, that makes me laugh. I want to send him something. Do you want the bra, Adam?
Adam, do you want the bra and panties? Tweet right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, Adam, let me know what you want. He's in Ireland. Hi, Adam. I love you. Okay. I'm sending him something. Okay, maybe he'll want the panties. Although then his parents will be like, "You're not allowed to watch who is sending you panties." He'll be like, "Mom, don't worry. I watched a boy wear them online first."
Here also, I've included a video that is now on private on my channel, but it is me talking about what happened whenever I met Colleen back in 2016. We had a conversation. Oh, no. I remember what happened. We walked up, and whenever I was hugging her, she said, "I'm so sorry I didn't bring your lingerie." Yeah, because in her live stream, she said she wanted to send me her lingerie. I'm not lying, she did. Trust me. She hugged me, and we were talking, and she was like, "I'm so sorry I didn't bring your lingerie." My parents were right behind me, so thanks for that, Colleen. So I did get sent the lingerie, and immediately, whenever it arrived, my parents were furious. They were so angry, and they took
The point has been...
it away, and I didn't know if they still had it, and I asked my mom did she have it, because she knew I was making this video, so she was looking all morning, but she did find it. So I still have this. My mom kept it. I didn't even see these because my mom had just taken them away because they...
Okay, the point has been made that if his mum knew that he was receiving lingerie from a famous person, she could have intervened then. Who knows? Maybe she wasn't very confrontational. Maybe she didn't quite process it. So it's understandable that she would have intervened when it finally came to the door. But it has also been pointed out that he is lying here. He did see them. He wore them on camera. The picture has circulated around. And when this came to light, he completely changed his story. Saying, "Sorry, I forgot that. I actually did see them." This isn't really something that you forget. Obviously, she didn't take them away right away. They had been opened. You have seen them. How do you forget that? Especially if it's so traumatizing.
She was so shocked. So
She was shocked. Why was she shocked? She knew they were coming. Like, look, he pretends he doesn't. Yeah.
Then
oh, I don't like to touch it, even though you wore it on camera.
I don't know which way they go, but these
doesn't know which
as well.
way they go, even though you wore
Ears.
them. Like, it's a lie. It's not you forgetting something. It's a lie.
But I love my mum. She's great. She still wanted to be supportive, so that was her way of allowing me to go to that lunch, was her just staying on the street so that she could be near. So that was June 7th of 2018. So much has happened from then until now that I won't really talk about in this video, but I do want to talk about the situation that made Colleen turn on me. And it makes me really sad because this is someone that I loved so much, and seeing not only someone I would have called a friend go out of my life like that, someone who was my idol for years. It's weird, and yeah, she was. And whenever we talked about how Miranda wasn't really doing well anymore, she messaged me and then said, well, help me. And that's then whenever I started giving the tweet ideas. So on the 25th of March of this year, I started giving more ideas again because Colleen was aware that the Miranda character was becoming very stale and inactive on social media. And on the 26th of March again, she started tweeting my ideas, which included Animal Crossing stuff. So on the 25th and 26th, I presented her with about 15 different tweet ideas. So then came a tweet about Miranda Sings coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan, which she was initially confused about. And she says, I don't know what you're saying about Meghan. So then I explained it again, and Colleen was...
I never told you guys about this. I love Meghan. Then final reply this. It's random shit like this. People will love. It will confuse them. Okay.
fully gonna go ahead posting it herself, as you can see here. So I helped give her the photos and the concept, and she said, when should I do that? Should I do that?
Oh, there's more context. Yeah, then time you posted. If you coming out as okay. Peak troll of 2013.
When should I do that? Should I do that today or tomorrow before I post the video? And I said, what are you waiting for today? And she says, okay, cool. Showing that she had every...
Sorry, when's National Coming Out Day? What was the date on this?
Don't know what you're saying about Meghan. So then I explained it again, and Colleen was fully gonna go ahead posting it herself, as you can see here. So I helped give her the photos and the concept, and she said, when should I do that? Should I do that today?
Okay, fuck, 26th of March. That doesn't tell me the year. Okay, National Coming Out Day is in October, so...
Or tomorrow before I post the video. And I said, what are you waiting for today? And she says, but if things go well, we can talk about me hiring you part-time for an hourly...
This is a huge mistake on Colleen's part. She should not have done this. He is a minor. He has no experience in social media management. And obviously he's going to fuck something up because teenagers will inevitably fuck something like this up. Because actually, usually, social media managers will have a degree, so they know what they're supposed to be posting. And well, they will at least be mature and know what's appropriate to say. He is neither of these things. Telling him that she's going to hire him as a social media manager is a huge mistake. No.
I don't like using your creativity and insight for free, so just know I'm not planning on taking advantage of your help. I'm planning on making it more official if it works out that way. How does that sound, Queen? So then I got into the account and she basically just sent me a message saying go crazy. So what I had to do was tweet, respond to fans, talk to fans, basically just get hype about Miranda again. So I spent my entire day and night talking to fans on the Miranda Sings account in group chats. I had long conversations just talking to people on there, talking to fans, tweeting them, and just going through the list of tweets that I had sent her, thinking what will I tweet next. And then on the 27th of March at 1:05 in the morning, she sent me a message, just a ha 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 ha, and wait, you're all good, I see you've been tweeting. So this was after I said I was having problems getting into the account because of the email. So she had already seen Miranda right now. So Colleen was living for the account and she was happy with what I was doing. Be careful. I don't want to be...
Okay, so, yeah, here we go with a thing. So he talked about doing the queer baiting thing where he said she was coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan, and he did it, and unsurprisingly, people took issue with that. This is what's known as queer baiting. You are essentially making fun of the act of coming out, which is a huge no-no. Colleen should have known this, but he's the one who tweeted it, and he also had the idea. He also should have known this.
A scandal and have to apologize. Please, please, please be careful. People are very sensitive these days. This is one of the main reasons it's hard to do Miranda now. People have a hard time understanding satire and jokes, especially with sensitive subjects. I'm so glad everything is doing well. Even though you have the password, I need to approve everything before you post it just to avoid problems. It might slow down the process, but we gotta be careful. Now keep in mind, with proof here, she had seen everything that I was going to tweet and had tweeted on the account. So then I was like super confused, and she sent me a message that says, I'm not mad at all, I'm just paranoid because everyone always gets mad at me and I always have to apologize. And then please pay attention to this part because this is just what confuses me. She says, and OMG, I love everything you did today. It was magical to see everyone happy and excited to see Miranda come back to life. Then I said about how the followers and view count on the profile were up, and she said, yay, queen of promo. And then I said about how I promoted her appearance on a show she was doing, and she said she is truly iconic, talking about me and my work on the account. Then we were having a conversation where she was talking about Miranda the character and the fall of the character and the fall of her public image after the divorce, and her own feelings on that, but that's personal and unrelated, so I don't see any point of including that right here. So later in the night, she sent me a message and said, okay, I deleted the gay tweets, sorry, I'm too weak, I can't have people thinking I would make fun of the LGBTQ community. Don't hate me, but I was getting too many hate tweets. And she says about how it was her fans that made her delete the tweet. And so I just wrote back, I said, that's chill, okay, no problem, sorry about that. And she said, not your fault, you're so funny. I'm just too sensitive, it will take a while for me to get thick skin again, so be patient with me. And then I said, it's all G, just trying to work with you to make sure you can reach your full potential. And she says, I know. And then I say about the rise of interactions that the Twitter had, and she says, I love you. Thank you for everything, for always believing and helping me. So even though she was saying this, she was slowly starting to put the blame and guilt onto me for stuff that she had already approved and was going to tweet on her own, whether
She approved it, but you still didn't. It was still your idea. I'm sorry, bro. You're still culpable. She has responsibility, but you're still culpable for it.
she had given me the password or not. Now keep in mind, she texted me and said go crazy in relation to on the account, yet I only tweeted stuff that she had approved, including talking to fans and keeping updated in group chats. And at 8:51 on the 27th of March, she sent a message saying, don't forget, don't post anything without my approval for now. Now taking back what she had initially said because she saw the fault that she had shown. The next morning and day were really rough for me. I just want to say thanks to my friends and my parents and my family because that was a rough day. It was such a bad day. I saw someone I called a best friend turn her back on me, and that really hurts. So at 6:05 p.m. on the 27th of March, she sent me...
Why did you call someone you've never met a best friend? He says earlier that she said she was going to fly him out to see her, and it ended up not happening. I don't know how this is relevant. Plans fall through. It's actually pretty entitled to say, but it just didn't happen. She didn't pay for my plane ticket and my accommodations in another country. Fuck off. Just live with it. Like, I don't know. It's just very strange for a young teenager to be saying, I can't believe this happened with my grown adult best friend. It's strange. Don't think these people are your best friends.
A message saying, I'm getting an overwhelming amount of hate for the coming out stuff. I don't know what to do. It's like every other tweet I'm getting right now on my Colleen Twitter. I haven't even looked at the Miranda, yet I'm scared to. So 10 minutes later, it turned into her saying how she apologized to one person. And she said, the thing is, I agree with them. Queerbaiting is not a joke. I'm super sad I've upset so many people. I'm telling you, girl, I'm super sensitive, like near tears. again trying to guilt me and make me feel really bad for something that she had already approved and found funny.
Bear in mind that the wording she just used was, "I'm so sad, I've upset so many people." She's taking some culpability. She's venting to you because you are also most directly responsible for it. Like, if you don't like that she's freaking out at you because you are also involved in this, you shouldn't have been in this position.
And she didn't see any problems with it.
Granted, also keep in mind that he never actually showed the tweets that caused all of this mess. He showed the drafts that he sent her in private. He did not show the tweets.
I'm going to be really honest for a second. I spent that entire day just crying in bed and texting my friends, and my mom and dad were just comforting me the entire day. I was a mess that day. I was completely radio silent on everything. Ask any of my friends from that day. It was such a horrible day.
And why? Because you screwed up. You tweeted a bigoted tweet on behalf of a very famous person, and they don't like the backlash none too much, and they're telling you about it. Is that why you spent the whole day crying? Because you should have never accepted the position if this was a possibility. Because of course this was a possibility. And she should have never offered it to you. That's where this whole thing went wrong, is that you were offered a position you were not ready for.
Like, it was so awful. I didn't even get a message from Colleen asking how I was. It was just guilt-tripping me that I had done all this to her.
That's not guilt-tripping, and she never said you did this to me. She said, "I am upset that I've upset so many people. I am upset because I'm getting hate for the tweet that you posted." None of that is untrue. You did in fact post the tweet. It was in fact your idea. She is also upset with herself for how it turned out. She is telling you about it because you were involved. There's really nothing wrong with that in and of itself. Maybe she should be a bit more composed because technically she's dealing with an employee. But other than that, there is nothing wrong with her telling the person most directly involved with the scenario how freaked out she is about it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not guilt-tripping. It's telling you about it.
Almost as if I had planned it or something. So she continued to talk about it. She said, "It's all anyone is talking about. I'm really upset. I would never post something like that, and now everyone thinks I'm homophobic. I'm really upset." So right now she's seemingly taken back all opinions of me, of my tweet ideas, of my input on the account. For her,
That's also not what she said. She is upset about that one particular post. Evidently, she still loves everything else he did with the account on that one day, except for that one post. It may seem like some sort of cognitive dissonance. She is obviously freaking out. She obviously didn't understand the connotations when you fleetingly told her about it. But it is homophobic. It is queerbaiting. It is bigoted. It should never have been posted. And obviously she is very upset about the connotations that it has that she didn't realize earlier. But you are also the social media manager, and it is also your job to know these things. Whoops.
tweet ideas, of my input on the account, for her saying thank you for everything you did. It was magical. I'm so happy. The fans, now it's, I would never tweet stuff like that. My fans think I'm homophobic. I can't believe
this.
that.
She said something. This is... yeah, no, it's wrong.
And instead of checking in how I was as well, I was just getting short, snappy sentences to guilt me even more. At this stage, I had enough, and my parents had enough, and I sent the following message. "I've logged out and this situation will die down. People know you. They were extremely excited last night. Mob mentality will make them think they have to believe a certain way. I hope you've seen the interaction last night got, and that there's so much more possibility for the character. The fans were just waiting for you to give them that moment. The series on YouTube has all positive comments and feedback. Twitter drama stays on Twitter. I love you so much, and this will..."
This was the part, because I watched this with my wife the first time. This was the part that really told me he's just too young to understand what's going on. He's too young to understand this situation. Granted, I don't think Colleen is a very mature person either, but he is simply too young. He doesn't understand how social media works, or how mobs work, or how cancel culture works. Granted, mob mentality will make them believe that, make them think they have to believe a certain way. True, but that has, much wider outreach than just Twitter. He says Twitter drama stays on Twitter. That's not true at all. Twitter drama goes everywhere. Twitter drama results in cancellations. And while it might not have spread to YouTube yet, if you're careless with this, it will. Cancellation's very unpleasant. She clearly hadn't got a lot on her plate because of the backlash to that. And you downplaying it isn't helpful. What you should have done is apologize for it because you are complicit in it. And the fact, like, she ghosts him after this, and it's probably because this is an incredibly stupid comment. And it's very, and, you know, if I were Colleen, I wouldn't have gotten myself in this situation in the first place, but if I were Colleen and I saw this, it would have suddenly dawned on me that I hired someone for a position they are not equipped to handle. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. He might have had some funny, quote-unquote, ideas for the account, but when it comes to dealing with social media, he is completely inept and way too young to understand the situation. And she probably just pulled out of it. Wasn't just, this is not okay. This has gone too far. We're gonzo.
Pass. I got left unread and I was ignored from this point on. Yep. Also to add that even though she found all the tweets funny and she loved everything I did with the account, she deleted all my tweets after I logged out of the account. So yeah.
Well, it's understandable since you're not managing the account anymore. I mean, is that really what you're that upset about? Is that you had one day as a stint for a social as a social media manager, and you fucked it up, and as a result, your work was deleted, and your ties were severed. Essentially, you were fired. This is an incredibly prestigious position that many people would kill for, and you got it at 17 because you got it at 16, 17 because you got really, really lucky, and then you fucked it up on the first day. And as a result, your employer pulled out. That's what you're that upset about? That's what this whole video is for? That's what you're trying to cancel her for? What is she lying about? Oh, apparently she spread rumors that he ran this hate account for her, but that's it. Evidently, it was only fucking her friend that did this. And he keeps framing it as they were spreading lies about me, but this is the only screenshot that he shares. Apparently, this only happened once. Granted, it probably shouldn't have happened, but he frames it in a way that's so much worse than it is. And this is what this video is about in general, is framing things that he was complicit in as though he was solely the victim. Granted, he was a minor. Granted, the relationship was pretty inappropriate. But again, he's framing it as though he's traumatized. He's framing it exactly like every other one of these cancel culture videos that try to take a big YouTuber, a big social media influencer, and take them down a peg with a video exactly like this. Exactly. To a T. And it's usually situations a lot worse. Grooming, sexual assault, shit like that. This, what happened? You got a job, you fucked it up, and you got fired. That's what happened. And maybe they speculated that you ran a hate account because things left on a sour note. But that's all. That's all. And people are taking this as read. Comments are turned off now, but like I know that, what's that girl's name? Angelica Oles just completely took his side on this. Why? Because he has a video that looks like this, where he sounds like this. He constantly looks and sounds like he's about to cry. He frames it as really traumatic. He tells stories about how he was crying all day and his parents had to comfort him. He lies several times throughout the story, and that's enough to garner sympathy. Like, again, Colleen is not blameless in the situation, but neither is he. This is not deserving of a fucking hashtag Colleen Ballinger is over party. This is not worth anyone's time. And I know I dedicated 40 minutes to this, or half an hour, but what I'm trying to illustrate is anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Maybe you have to have some sort of history with the person, but you can frame anything like anything and get clout for it. Who knew who this kid was beforehand? He might have had a small following, maybe after that live stream, but he was not publicly affiliated with Colleen. That's why he has to tell the story like this. Nobody knows who this kid is, and because he lost his big shot, he has to go and try to do a hit job on this person. I guess my point is, be very careful about videos like this. Don't just believe them at face value. Be skeptical about them. This kid was thrust into a situation he was too young for, and now he's bitter about it. That's it. Case closed. Next story. How long have I been going for? Hour and a half? That's all I wanted to say today.